The physical environment. The physical places older adults and people with disabilities live in matter. They can be supportive, providing safe and easy access to food, transportation, and health care, and encouraging social interactions. Or they can be withering, limiting their mobility, social connectivity, and overall well-being. Let's take a deeper look into different aspects of the physical environment and the impact they have on older adults and people with disabilities. The well-being of older adults and people with disabilities can become compromised when they're not able to access basic needs and amenities due to a lack of transportation options that are safe, reliable, flexible, and/or affordable. And as someone gets older, their ability to get around on their own often becomes even more restricted, while their reliance on family, friends, neighbors, and social services to get around increases. This transition is often more than logistical, it's emotional. When mobility is lost or reduced for older adults and people with disabilities, there is also a profound loss of their independence.
We don't have enough. I mean, thousands of people need rides every week to get to physical therapy and dialysis. I mean, we have very few buses that run on a timely basis through our community, and seniors are just desperate to get to, the store, appointments, friends, family. They're trapped.
Yeah. The old people like me, we don't want to accept that we're getting old. And to give up the car, to give up the driver's license, to give up here is very hard. I was checking the other day that the bus, in advance, you can call and they will take you from this place, sitting up a date, a time.
No.
It's not cheap for me.
$8 round trip.
$8 round trip. With $8, I go buy a breakfast for 2 days.
Yeah.
I can only walk about a block. I have to stop and rest. If I walk to the bus stop, it's about 8 blocks from here.
Wow.
So I have to stop there about 8 times before I get there.
Housing is another key aspect of the physical environment. The need for high-quality, accessible, and affordable housing is dire. Those who have it struggle to keep it. Those who don't have it search and wait for years. And navigating confusing housing rules and lengthy processes is so arduous that even social service providers have difficulty. Another critical housing-related concern is that homelessness among the older adult population in California is on the rise, in large part due to the housing affordability crisis. Homelessness is not solved simply by providing a roof over one's head, though it is a good place to start.
I'll tell you one thing, they need to get affordable housing. They don't have it around here. I mean, this apartment that I have is supposed to be the lowest price one in Orange County, and it's $1,200 and something a month, and that is not reasonable. It's a studio.
The housing crisis is so bad here. I've put in maybe 45 applications, and so far I've heard from maybe 10, and they put me on a waiting list. The longest waiting list they got me on is 7 years, and the shortest one is 2 years.
The loops that I had to hop through to get into that apartment, they had you to go over here to get your information right here. Then they had you, a few days or a few weeks later, then you had to go over to another city to get this information over here. Then you had to bring it back over here to the third office, and then the fourth office. It was like running track. It wasn't easy at all, in no shapes, no form. It was because I was a former real estate broker that I could kind of analyze and figure it out.
And it's just basically addressing every veteran's need, addressing the housing barriers that have prevented them from going into permanent housing, whether that be financial, medical, mental health, substance abuse. We kind of try to address all of that.
Everyone is just throwing money or throwing food, or even when you put them into a shelter, that's great. But what happens after that? There needs to be a transition out. That's the point of our program here.
Lastly, another often unpublicized aspect of the physical environment is the proximity to toxic conditions. Living close to major polluters can affect everyone's health, but older adults are particularly vulnerable to the health implications.
I used to be pretty good at
I was in the medical field,
I don't know
and
that much.
the doctor said they never saw so much strep throat. They never saw so much, so many sinus pains as we have here. The problem is the damage is done because the dust is already here and it's covering all our ground. We still have really unhealthy air when the wind blows. We've all been drinking water that's causing cancer in us for generations. Yeah.